you got to look at the people that suffered in these fires, okay? They're looking for logistics to put this waste somewhere. Of course, if it's in the ocean, we'll clean up the ocean. Look how big that is.
Oh, get out of here, bro.
But I'm just saying. Well, I'm just saying that.
You can't clean the ocean. Okay, you can't clean the ocean.
Okay, I tell you what.
Please, Ashley, loud and clear. Everyone needs to know this. Jesus.
I've been collecting samples on the beach every day to test for heavy metals, asbestos, toxins, plastics, and things like that. When I was calling around to all the local labs, I was told specifically that I had to send it out of state because they were instructed by the LA County to not test any members of the public samples. So I don't know why that was.
That's outrageous.
That's outrageous.
That's outrageous.
I did not have that in writing. It was on the phone.
This is unacceptable.
Like a big hamster.
Stop polluting our beaches! Stop polluting our beaches!
They're not the bad guys here.
No more ash! Remove the trash! No more ash! Remove the trash! No, it's good, it's good. What is your... debris in the burn area! Sort the debris in the burn area! EPA needs help to do that! We need the Army Corps of Engineers to help the EPA sort the burn area!
I would like to say something for all of us. Up top is contaminated. Down here is not contaminated. Do not bring contaminated area into an uncontaminated area. Our children run here, families run here, animals play here. This is the most beautiful beach in the world and it's being ruined. We will not take it. Please, help us, please spread the word to your friends.
I wanted to add to that, and as an engineer, I also wanted to thank everyone for coming out.
Tell them.
I think our voices are so loud and important, and the issue here is not just the temporary Superfund site that is being planned. It's the job of the EPA to protect the water and the watershed, but I think moving forward, what needs to happen is everyone here wants to protect the ocean, and it's not just about this, it's about what happens forward. And everyone in Los Angeles who loves the ocean will agree that there should be no rebuilding in the intertidal zone. Who speaks for the Grunions, who speaks for the cephalopods, who speaks for the anemones that all live here, whose habitat is being destroyed. And so while we're all against this, what everyone here, I think, if I could speak for everyone, is for the ocean, and that's really the message of this march and this protest. And thank you everyone for coming. It means the world to me, and it's also, this is our world. Thank you.
My name is Ashley. I am on the commission for the environment, sustainability, and environmental justice for the city of Santa Monica. And I just want to thank you guys all for being here. I want to make one point that's really important today, is that time is of the essence. There is so much debris and ash that's coming onshore, being brought in from the waves. And then you have these storm drains. They're also bringing in debris and water down into the ocean. We need to do something to prevent the flow going. We also need to properly clean up the soot and ash that is coming up on the waves in the sand every day. We have a limited amount of time before it breaks down into smaller particles, and there's nothing we can do about it. Right now it's still thick, clumped together, and it looks like lava on the beach. And I want everybody to take a look at it and really see how much our beach is suffering. And if we add on this Will Rogers sorting site of the largest lithium battery toxic waste heap in history, which is hard to believe, then we're going to have major problems. We have a really highly densely populated city over this, and if it is released, there's nothing we can do, and I don't think it's worth the risk. So I'm hoping we can all make as much noise as possible, post like crazy on social media. We're going to be sending the pictures that we're taking to everyone that signed up on the email list when you arrived, so that everybody has content. And then after this, whoever's interested, we're going to take a walk down on the beach and actually see the condition of the beach, so you can see it with your own eyes, take pictures, get the word out, and let people know how bad it is. Because right now our beach is suffering, it's hurt, it needs to heal, and it's not going to heal if we then bring in the world's largest toxic lithium battery waste load. So I hope everybody just leaves today and makes as much noise on social media and make sure that as many people know about this as possible, because that's the only way we're going to stop it, and we have very limited time before they start actually transporting the debris down to the Will Rogers parking lot. Once that happens, it's game over. That's not up for debate.
They're already bringing it to Topanga.
Yes.
It's already happening. It has to stop today because the water is coming. And it is going to take those lithium, that creek overflows, that creek floods, and it is going to literally wash the lithium into the ocean on Wednesday. We have until Wednesday. We have to stop it and stop it from Will Rogers as well.
I think it shouldn't be by our beaches, period. I think we all need to collectively understand that the beach is too important for us to be jeopardizing or putting it at risk. This is not about not wanting it in our backyard. It's not about sending it to somebody else's neighborhood. This is about not having it in the oceans and the beaches and handling it responsibly and not conveniently because you want to rush through this. And that's what's happening right now. Bad decisions are being made. Yeah. So there's no guarantee. We're in uncharted territory right now with this amount of debris, the toxicity of the debris. There's tests that aren't running a comprehensive test and all the things that need to be tested. So we're really in uncharted territory of how this is going to affect us, what proper handling is, and so on and so forth. But it's a moot point because the EPA is not handling it according to their own plans of making sure it's safe. So it doesn't really matter if they say that they're handling it with care when we know they're not. So we need to make sure that we hold them accountable and expose everything that's actually going on, because they really want this to be as quiet as possible and they don't want us to get as much visibility as we are. So,
and Ashley, this isn't temporary. Like what's happening right now will
Explosions are
last
loud.
years, 20, 30 years.
that's true. Right now they're telling us it's 30 days. Right now they're saying this is done in 30 days. It's just not possible. The amount of debris that is happening that came from the Palisades fire is 4.5 million tons of toxic debris. That is half the amount of all of LA County's garbage annually. So if you can imagine what that's going to take to facilitate the sorting of it, the toxic materials, and get it moved, safely sealed, and transported out of here, it's going to be months. Right now I heard best case scenario 18 months. That would put our beaches parking lot out of commission for 2 summers. This is where our kids play. This is where we all love to be.
I like that.
Yeah.
So Ashley, what is the solution? And I know you're not. I don't know that you're. I don't know if you're an expert. You certainly know more than I do.
Reassign the Army Corps of Engineers to phase 1. Reassign the Army Corps of Engineers to phase 1 so we can get that done safely without risk of explosion.
Well, also to just keep everything more than a mile away from the beach. There's plenty of spaces in California.
We need to sort in the burn area.
Yes.
Ashley, will you
Not
answer that
move
question?
it.
The question is, in your opinion, what is the safe way to do this next phase?
So I don't think I can properly give an adequate answer because we haven't had any conversations with anybody. We haven't been given the opportunity to learn why they are picking the beach, why they're picking this location other than its convenience, and that it's a large flat surface. That's all we've been told. So until I get more information and we're given the respect and the opportunity to have a conversation with the EPA, FEMA, the LA County Board of Supervisors, I can't really answer that question without the information. So I think the first step is information sharing and transparency, which we're not getting right now.
Can you give us the bottom line of exactly why you got everybody here? Just kind of give a synopsis.
Not on the beach.
Reassign the Army Corps to phase 1. Come and help us.
Sort the trash in the
Look,
toxic zone.
the truth is, there is no good solution for what we're dealing with right now.
Not true. Sorta Gelson's not at the
There's not, with the amount
Better solution than the beach.
okay, there's better solutions to the beach, but what we're dealing with is really, really terrible. And as our climate continues in the direction it's going, and more wildfires are happening annually, and it becomes more the norm, this will be a constant problem. And this stuff is toxic. It's close to nuclear waste. I mean, that's how really serious this is. So right now, the objective is to not have these sighting sorts on the beach, a pathway into our oceans to contaminate our oceans. We need to clean up the ash and soot that is on the beach right now before it breaks down into smaller particles and mixes with the sand and in the water, and we can't see it and there's nothing we can do. And we need to be more responsible with how we're living and actually pay attention to what the planet is telling us, because right now it's telling us that it's not okay. We have Florida, it's snowing in Florida when it's burning here. It's not normal. Between the pandemic and the natural the hurricanes and all the weather events, we need to start actually paying attention and do something about our activities individually and collectively. So I'm asking, I hope that people will be more thoughtful about how much you buy on Amazon. I'm working on it myself. You know, try to reduce your footprint every day so that we are not in this position.
But the issue is biodiversity. We talk about the climate, and it's not an issue of heat and carbon. If you care about the environment, and we all do, everyone cares about the environment, the issue is biodiversity. And the intertidal zone is the richest biodiversity place in Los Angeles, and that's what needs to be protected by everyone. And everyone loves the ocean. The ocean is the source of all life on Earth. There is a hidden umbilical cord between the ocean and humanity, and we need to protect it to protect ourselves.
25,000 square acres burned. There has to be a place to sort this. There has to be a place that is in the burn zone where this can be sorted. That is what we can do today. Obviously, our environment is important to all of us, but today we are here to say, do not sort this toxic waste at the beach. Find somewhere in the burn zone. I am a Palisadian. My home burned, my business burned, my community burned, and I am okay with you sorting it in my hometown, because that is what burned. Do not spread it unnecessarily. That's my message.
Keep the sorting in the burn footprint, and the EPA needs to be more responsible for its subcontractors that it's hiring to do this work that are not following each and every regulation to the T. And that is why we have leaking, draining, and problems going into the ocean. The EPA needs to be responsible for its subcontractors that it's hiring to do this work.
Don't spread this toxic waste onto our public beaches are for our families, our children. Do not spread toxic waste into this pristine atmosphere here.
And everybody here, all of us too, call your local representative, bombard them with calls, call the EPA, call the Board of Supervisors, call Karen Bass. Karen Bass has not had any communication with any of the people who are trying to reach out to her in the community, trying to get answers. It's like it's just a shut down wall. So
Can you get Ashley people to leave their emails and we can...
There's a list that we're having people sign up. Put your email on the list.
We can share those.
We also have contact information for the city officials for you to call, bombard, email, fill their answering machines up. Make it say no more room on this machine.
The last thing I'll also say is
the city of Malibu marched. What happened in the city of Malibu?
they didn't even march. They just had a public conversation.
They had a public conversation in the city of Malibu, and it's not there anymore. And guess what? Now it's here. We're not okay with it. So Karen Bass needs to be accountable. She needs to speak to
our community.
The
She
residents.
needs to speak to our community, and it's not just about our kids. It's about life it's the birds and the fish that we eat in the water, and everything is going to be contaminated. Like Ashley said, it's now. The time is now. This cannot wait any longer.
And one thing is, I've been taking samples every day since the fire started down on the beach, what's washing up on shore, what's on the rack line, and then what's on the dry sand line, and sending them out to get tested in laboratories out of the state, because every laboratory I called in Los Angeles told me they were told by the LA County not to conduct or process any.
No fucking way. Are you kidding me? Did you just hear this? Did you just hear this? Say that again. No fucking way. No fucking way. Say that again. Say that again.
When I was calling around looking for labs to test my samples.
Give her the megaphone.
Give her the megaphone.
Say that again, please, Ashley, loud and clear.
Everyone needs to know this. Jesus.
I've been collecting samples on the beach every day to test for heavy metals, asbestos, toxins, plastics, and things like that. When I was calling around to all the local labs, I was told specifically that I had to send it out of state because they were instructed by the LA County to not test any members of the public samples. So I don't know why that was.
That's outrageous.
That's
But-
outrageous.
That's outrageous.
I did not have that in writing. It was on the phone.
This is unacceptable.
But
Record the call.
But definitely, so when I get the results, which half of the results will be back in 5 to 6 days, and then the asbestos and plastic tests, and those will be back in 20 days. If you're on the sign-in sheet with your email, I'm going to send all the results to everybody who's listed on that email, and make sure that everybody has the information that they want to have, that they've been really struggling to get their hands on. So it's going to be,
Call them again tomorrow and record the call.
Are they private or public?
they're private.
Wow.
Call them again or record the
Wow.
call. Excuse me, just addressing that. But, see, we're Americans, right? So we,
Every
that's
news
a large
camera
ocean,
runs
so
with
we
that.
have scientists to do that.
Motherfucker.
But I just want to say that, as far as what is going on here, we Americans, we've seen this in the 60s. So basically, you got to look at the people that suffered in these fires, okay? They're looking for logistics to put this waste somewhere. Of course, if it's in the ocean, you clean up the ocean. Look how big that
Oh,
ocean.
get out of here, bro.
Get out of here. Well, I'm just saying that.
You can't clean the ocean. Okay, you can't clean the ocean.
Okay, I tell you what. I tell you what. If it's already in there, it's already in there. We gotta clean it.
Wrong protest.
No, to have these people wait to get back home.
Okay, so we're going to stay on point here, and we're going to talk about what is important. We want to thank the press for coming. We hope that the press will get this story out.
And you take a sample, a micro sample.
Okay.
Okay?
Thank you for listening, everybody. Thank you for coming, and thank you for your time and your heart and your care for the earth. We hope that you will get this news out to all the news people here. Thank you. Please get our stories out. You have access to things that we don't. Please spread the word. We need you, we love you, we respect you, and we appreciate you coming here today.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Have a great day.
My name's Ashley Wilson. I am a commissioner for the environmental justice, sustainability, and the environment for the city of Santa Monica.
Can you spell your name, please?
Sure. And last name? Ashley, A-S-H-L-E-Y, O-E-L-S-E-N.
Just speak a little bit louder. Talk to us about what's happening here today and what's the reaction of everybody that's here.
Well, people are pretty upset. We've all gone through a really difficult time. Many people here have lost their homes, their places of business, and now they're going to lose their beach. And people are upset. And We don't want the beaches to be subjected to more toxic chemicals, exposed to all the things that give us cancer. There's not enough research to be done, and we need the beach to heal. We need to heal ourselves at the beach and let the beach heal from all the toxic soot and ash that is right now currently sitting on the shore.
Now, you made a comment about that you sent samples to be tested. And what was the response to, where did you send it to, and what was the response?
I don't want to share the lab I sent it to because labs are being told not to be testing samples from.
Yeah, but you said you sent it to a private lab?
Yeah, I sent it to a private lab.
Tell me that.
Yeah, so I sent it to a private lab. There's
Start with what you did.
Okay. So I've been collecting samples since the fire started on the beach. From day one and subsequently every day I've been doing wildlife surveys, seeing what animals are on the beach, how they're impacted by the fire, and then grabbing a sample from that location. I'm testing it for heavy metals, asbestos, and dioxins, and so we want to see what's in these tests, what's actually going on, and then we can start to understand what kind of risk is actually being posed to the community here.
And you said that you sent it to get it tested, as well as what was the response?
I haven't gotten the results yet. I should have them in about 5 days.
Not the results, but the response.
The response to
committee.
Well, the response was that the local labs would not let me send them the samples. They said I had to send them out of state because they were instructed by LA County to not be testing samples for the planet.
So what, can you say that again?
Denmark or Norway, and so I bought, this is the only one that I saved, the other one did not save, but I was wearing this that day of the fire, so it saved. And look, this is a rad, and so this,
But more importantly, like this decision, Tracy, is like, let's time out.
Yeah.
Rain, toxic waste into the ocean. We can't undo that. And I know that intentions are good. Why not, Tracy, just a quick question to the mayor. Why not just sort this on site at Ralph's, Gelson's?
She heard our call.
Moving it to here and disturbing a non-toxic.
That is what I have
And then the moving of it in the air.
Save our
So
scene.
who's owning this decision?
Stay tuned on my TV. We have Tracy Park here on scene.
I'll take off my shades, you know. The state has made it, and do they supersede you and the mayor?
So yeah, EPA and FEMA and the state and the county.
How do they have that much power? Can you explain that to me? I don't understand how these organizations that are not, like government people, like we didn't vote them in, how are they running everything?
Lobbyists and money.
Yes. But
National disaster response system.
But like, who was like,
There's absolutely no transparency.
How were they able to stop it in Malibu?
They did not stop it in Malibu. The Topanga Creek.
Okay, so they were able to move the thing.
Still in the city.
I know, but how do we push it up to like where it's
a safer air zone?
Yeah, not in the watershed. That's what I have been trying to tell them.
We're Palisades, we want it there. There's plenty of land in the parking lot scraping anyway. I just don't understand why they want to move it twice. When Caruso was building his project, he had, trucks on trucks on trucks. I remember, why don't they just bring 25 trucks a day, load it up, and take it to whoever else?
I think Tracy's on agreeing.
Yeah. I've been pretty vocal in my opposition to this.
How do we propose a place to put it? Because I think that's where the disconnect is happening.
That's a good point.
So we had suggested a number of places already in the Palisades because it's already in an area that is contaminated.
Sounds logical.
what were your top couple zones that you guys thought?
So for example, Pali Rec Center.
That's exactly what I said yesterday. I said Pali Rec was perfect for it.
And why is it a no?
So I suggested that to the EPA back on the first time I caught wind of this was middle of January. Told them no way, no how. Was I open to doing that at Will Rogers? Recommended Pali Rec Center. We also recommended some of the parking
We heard
lot.
the polo fields, but Will Rogers, I don't.
No, too hard to get trucks in and out of there.
That was
Gelson's parking lot, Ralph's parking lot, and then I was thinking even like on Sunset Boulevard, you can skip Sunset all through the alphabet streets because you can go around the Huntington. Why can't we just Like how do we? I've never done anything political in my life. I'm a mom and
well, I would suggest put it all together in writing. The proposed sites, why you think they make more sense, and then put it together as a community document. You guys have everyone who was here today sign on to it,
like do one of those,
and then direct, and I would say direct it to the mayor.
It's about to rain. Is there any
way to stop it from them moving it before this rain?
Emergency order that
Can we
come
not
from your...
pause this for a second and like get our ducks in a row?
I
Like
think
why
that
are they?
How about Laura's baby? What do you say about this?
I don't know if you guys are following on my social media, but I have asked the EPA to do a public town hall on Tuesday evening. So I would
It's at 6 p.m.
at 6 o'clock.
But the rain comes Wednesday, so can they just like pause it?
Well, the problem is at Topanga it already started. So even if
And we appreciate you coming and hearing us, because once this starts, then it's really difficult. It's going to rain on Wednesday, and we're concerned once we embark on this that it's hard to redo it. And let's be honest, once we get the lithium battery draining into the ocean, it's hard to undo
I
that.
have a more pressing question about what's already on the beach, because it's the condition of the beach is not good. It's suffering. The ash and the soot is so thick. It's like lava, collecting. And it still there can still be some remediation happening.
How do you clean the ash and sand?
Well, where's our Hilda Bay? Hilda Bay.
Why don't you talk about that? Tracy Quinn from Hilda Bay and I were actually just up in Palace
of the sand and of the solids. And so we should have those results back soon. My understanding of the preliminary results showed that they weren't finding levels of toxins above what is considered safe, but again, that's only preliminary testing.
Who are the companies that are actually testing them? Because somebody announced
County Public Works is leading.
Are they trustworthy?
But it's the preliminary sampling, so it's just a few discrete samples. It's not going to give us the whole picture. Hilda Bay is part of a larger group that is doing ocean water quality sampling. We did it before the first rain and after the rain. We've been out there doing some additional sampling. The County Public Health and Regional Board are also doing some sampling, and then SCORP, and I'm forgetting what that stands for, is a group of scientists that are also out here doing testing as well. And so we're going to have a pretty comprehensive data set. The real challenge is that there are no
precedents.
This is an unprecedented event, and so we don't have public health standards for what's a safe level for recreational exposure for a lot of the contaminants we expect to see coming off these burn sites. So it's not like we can say like, okay, when we see that, the PFAS or what the PAHs or whatever is below a certain level, then it's safe to go in, because we don't know what those safe levels are for exposure from swimming or surfing. So it's going to be a real challenge for us to determine when it's safe to swim. What I'm hoping, and what we saw a little bit in Lahaina, and again, this is all unprecedented, so every situation is different, is that once we get all the debris removed and everything, that with the amount of circulation that we have in the ocean, that we might be able to see a return to sort of healthier levels for recreation. But again, it could be up to a year before a lot of that debris is removed. And so we have a lot of challenges.
You mean from the sites or from the actual ocean, just cycling?
No, just from the sites, right? And so while that debris is up there, all of that is still going to flow into the ocean.
So Tracy and I have been up in Palisades today looking at some of the landslide prone areas. We drove up to Malibu to look at the coastline properties that have burned, just to get a feel for how serious this is. This isn't pretty, and there is no way to sugarcoat any of this. The entire thing is a toxic mess.
I know people really want to get into their homes, especially the ones standing. I'm not somebody with a standing home, so I can't speak to them. I don't have a home, I don't have a business, so I can just go somewhere else for a while. But I feel like the rush.
There's not my home. I live in the Palisades, and my home is standing. And I will say, there's a community of us. It's Palisades Home Still Standing on WhatsApp.
Yeah.
And the majority of us don't want to go home. We want to wait till it's safe.
We don't. I think that this rush, and I'm not going to be super political because I'm not a political person. I am a very independent thinker, but we need to think rationally, not in a rush, because this will affect years and years and years.
You have to look at 9/11 and what we learned after 9/11, and why there's no apples to apples in this unprecedented.
And so what I've been trying to tell people who have homesteading, which is a really tough position to be in, right? Because you've got to be able to make decisions about, am I getting a 6-month lease, a 12-month lease,
and their insurance.
And I think that's not helpful.
I also think there was a delay of realizing they're not going home.
They're still delayed. because I'm on.
I still don't know when
I'm on the Highland